I'm Leo. Welcome back to our 30 days of yoga.
Yes, and come and join us for day 15. We're going to be starting with Adho Mukha Virasana, so some of you will be very familiar with this by now. Taking the big toes together.
Could I just say before we start, you're going to need a chair and a yoga belt or a tie or something like that. So pause the clip and go and get your equipment.
Yeah, we're just waiting for a few moments. Okay, so Adho Mukha Virasana. We'll be in Adho Mukha Virasana while you're getting your equipment. Just talking about the chair, you can see here in the video that this is a yoga chair. They're very useful, you can slip through them, which we will show you eventually how to actually get the best use out of the yoga chair. But for today, any chair will do as long as it's got a back to it. Alright, so extending in your Adho Mukha Virasana, lifting your abdomen, drawing the abdomen towards the spine. So remember some of the instructions, I know we're reinforcing them all the time. See that the arms are really nice and straight and extended. You can see here Leo's extending even more. But what tends to happen when you extend these arms, the buttocks come with the arms. That's not a great pose. You want to see that you're grounded, those buttock bones are moving deeply towards the heels and eventually rest in the head. So don't worry if the head doesn't reach the floor, that's quite normal. You just see that you can place a cushion underneath your head if you feel that you need a little bit of support, or a yoga brick or foam block. From this pose we're coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana, so ground down with your palms. This is coming into dog pose. Tuck your toes under and lift up. Good. So if this is your first dog pose for today, just gradually unfold the body from the base. Press strongly into the palms and root down with those wrists. So the wrists need to go strongly towards the palm side, locking the elbows and drawing the upper arms. So these upper arms are going to extend all the way through to the socket and beyond. Extend through the whole of the body, extend through the pelvis up towards the buttock bones. Lift the abdomen. Remember the abdomen lines the spine, very important. Extending the thighs back strongly, opening the backs of the knees and extending the soles of the feet as far as you can towards the back edge of the mat. Doesn't mean to say you just plonk your heels down if you're able to do that. As soon as your heels are down, that kind of finishes the pose. So spend a little bit of time preparing, extending, opening and getting that length in the sole of the foot. Looking forward, we're coming for the jump or the step for Uttanasana. Bring those legs towards the hands. Good. Be in your Uttanasana, and again, I'm going to repeat, if the hamstrings are really tight, then you may need to put your hands onto either the thighs or the shins. If you can reach the floor, this is fine, but again, if you have some equipment, yoga equipment, you can put your hands onto a couple of yoga bricks. Be sure at this stage you're lifting through the abdomen, through the front thigh. As we know, the forward bend comes from the front thigh and the opening of the front groins. So make sure that you're getting that real lift and extension. And then bring in with the back of the legs. The thigh bone's got to hit strongly towards the back of the thigh. And see that the legs are becoming more and more perpendicular. The more you practice in your Uttanasana, this will be something that you'll be working towards. If you can come a little bit deeper into the action, do so now. So you can take your hands back. Or if you're just at the stage where you're unfolding and the hamstrings and the frontal thighs are really tight and difficult to move, stay on your yoga bricks or your hands on your shins and keep that extension with your body moving forward. Be in this position, coming to the fold. Take a few inhalations, deeper breaths in your Uttanasana. Do not strain. As soon as you start straining, then you create that tension. You come to any boundaries, you just wait. Breathe through, relax the body, see if you can go a little bit further. And now, coming out of your Uttanasana, you can put your hands onto your pelvis, draw the abdomen deeply in, as you can see Leo is doing here, and then coming up into your standing position. So stand in a good Tadasana. So this is really when we come to digest some of the openings in the body. So you've practiced a few poses, and it's really nice to just take a little time to reflect. Taking the weight back into the heels, be sure that you start your Tadasana observing and becoming aware of the base of the pose. So grounding down very strongly into your heels. Seeing that your thighs are moving back and you're getting the lift out of the pelvis. This is the most challenging thing, especially if the frontal hips are quite stiff. You've got to see that they lift the organic body up. Lift up through the chest and draw your shoulders back and down. Take a soft inhalation and exhalation. Extending your arms up now for Utkatasana. So extending up, keeping that lift, and now bending your legs. So we're revisiting this pose. So coming to this Utkatasana action, draw the abdomen in, extending through the arms, soft inhalation. You see here, Leo's coming into the chair pose. We're revisiting this pose. Sometimes you can get really cramped up in the thighs. Make sure the backs of the hamstrings are really lengthening nicely. Draw the abdomen towards the spine, breath in and come up. Good. And now releasing the arms down. Just coming up for Urdhva Hastasana, taking the arms up, extend, a really nice extension through the whole of the body. Remember the arms, we have gone through this in our beginners classes, that you rotate these arms from the inside out. So this rotation needs to come. We have mentioned this before, but make sure that you keep that action. Nice soft inhalation, go on reaching, going opening, broaden through the ribs, lengthen through the ribs. Soft inhalation and exhalation. And releasing your arms down. Good, standing Tadasana for a moment. Our next pose is Uttita Hasta Baddangusthasana. So this is when we come into the balancing action and lifting your leg to the chair. So Leo's got a belt here, you can see.
Wow.
So eventually you're going to stand in the centre of the room and just take your leg right up into the air and enjoy the expression of the pose. But for now, this is training, this is where we start and this is where we learn the action. So feet together, bend your right leg and take it up to the top of the chair. This is what I mean by having a back to the chair. You need to have a reasonable height for this. Now, if your standing leg is bending, it means to say that actually, you can see, good action there, you can see that actually the height's a little bit too high, so you have to find something a little bit lower, maybe put something on top of the chair. Just start where you need to. It doesn't matter if you don't get the legs so high. Okay, you're going to loop the belt around, holding on to the belt, and then see that you connect. And what's really important here, very important actions, is that you need to be reaching the belt into the ball of the foot and the ball of the foot into the belt, so you really connect with the leg and the foot. Draw up through the abdomen, roll your shoulders back and down, keeping that standing leg absolutely straight and strong. Be in this position. Soft inhalation and exhalation. Okay, so we come to the other side now. And this one is good to repeat several times. We're not going to repeat it in this sequencing today, but several times will be very good for the leg extension.
Can I just say as well at this point that I generally say to my students, 3 things tell you that you've got your leg too high. One is that the leg bends. The second is that your standing leg foot turns out and that you can't get it to turn back in again. And the third thing is that you fall over. So those 3 things are the things that tell you that you've gone a little too high.
Yes. Definitely. It takes a little bit of time sometimes to get the feet to face directly forward because we're waiting for those muscle fibers in the legs to be able to rotate around the action and the symmetry of the pose. So extending up, and you may find that it feels quite difficult and tight in the leg at first. Placing the belt when you're ready. And again, see that you get that action, the traction. So push strongly into the belt into the ball of the foot. Just check also that the standing leg is absolutely in straight and strong, pulling up from above the knee, pulling up the kneecap, but also above the knee. Very important. See that your lifted leg, the outer hip is reaching down. So you're not going to just drop it down, but there's an action of heaviness on the outer hip, so that eventually it can go higher and higher and higher. So we're just building those foundations in Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. This is only preparational work, lifting through your body, lifting through your chest, and breathing nicely, smoothly, and evenly. And now release it. Okay, so we're coming down to the floor work now, just for Adho Mukha Virasana. This is how we started our routine, and we are coming quite close towards the end of this sequencing now. So taking the big toes together, taking the thighs a little apart, lifting up, soft inhalation and exhalation. Extending the arms forward. Softening the abdomen. And just being here for a few moments. Lifting the abdomen and concentrating on your breath. Soft inhalation, soft exhalation. And you can stay in this pose as long as you wish to. We are coming out of Adho Mukha Virasana now and coming for Sukhasana. So sitting in your Sukhasana with your legs crossed. So just take a few moments to become still and quiet. And remember, if you enjoyed our video, please do subscribe to our channel.
Thank you very much for joining us today, and we hope we'll see you again tomorrow. This is where it starts getting tough, right in the middle of the 30 days. So keep going. There's going to be some different and exciting things that we're introducing into the sequences as we progress. Looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you and namaste.